I'm Marissa.
I'm Enrique.
And this is the Millennial Chisme, and today we're going to be attempting the travel tag. So this is a series of questions, and the reason why we decided to do a travel tag is we're both lovers of travel. We absolutely love it. We've had experiences abroad. We've been fortunate enough to study abroad, so yeah, we figured that this is a way that you guys can get to know us a little bit. Maybe you guys, if you've been abroad or just traveled, you know, far and wide, or here even.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know where you guys have traveled, and maybe we can connect on the whatever we like. So, are you ready?
Yeah, let's get right to it.
Awesome. So, first of all, where are you from in the world?
You want to go first?
I can start. So I was born in San Jose, California. So I would say well, I mean, from everywhere, but but I was born there. I grew up there, and I moved to Illinois when I was like 13, 11. So I'm like half and half.
I mean, born and raised here outside of Chicago, Illinois. But my parents are from Guanajuato. So I consider that a part of home too. Mis raíces are there too, you know, so I have a lot of family. So I'd say Guanajuato, Illinois, and I kind of want to also include Italy, Rome, because home is kind of like this umbrella term for me for like just a place or people that add on to who you are. I don't know, that was a bad way of saying it, but I would say Rome was a time where I really found myself and was really able to let go, and I consider that part of it.
Definitely, and I think that's why I said I'm from everywhere, because really, from the places that I have been able to visit, I've taken something from that, and it shaped me into the person that I am today, and so I consider those parts, you know, very close to my heart, and so that's why I consider myself. So, next question, have you been overseas, when and where?
Yes! Well, okay, so I studied abroad in Europe, well, Italy specifically, the fall of 2014, and like I said, it was, again, everyone says this, but you don't get it until you do it. It was a life-changing experience. It's unforgettable. It's something that you can't, unless you talk to someone else who went abroad, you can't, it's hard to talk about it, because they won't understand, you know, like, no one gets, like, how life-changing it is until you do it. Granted, some people might have negative experiences, you know, that happens too. But generally, I think it was the best time ever. Italy was the time of my life. Again, it's where I found myself, and I owe a lot of who I am now to Italy. So yeah, that's really, and I went to Prague too. So Prague is beautiful. I went to Prague for some Mexican food. But it was the best thing ever. We went to get burgers and Mexican, and it was amazing. I went with like a group of friends I made in Italy. And I didn't travel that much outside of Europe, or in Europe, because I know a lot of people when they go to Europe, either EasyJet or Ryanair everywhere. And I didn't do it as much because I wanted to make sure that I took advantage of every single thing I could do in Rome. Because I chose Rome for a reason. You know, I didn't choose Rome to leave Rome. And
I studied abroad in Greece in the spring of 2014. And like Enrique says, it's definitely it was an everything changer. I mean, previous to that, I've traveled, you know, to Mexico to visit my family, which was also like a huge, you know, game changer. Just traveling in general, no matter how far and wide, it always changes things, puts things into perspective. But I studied abroad in Greece. We were all over the place in Greece. I chose my program not for the sake of just being in Greece, but also because I really liked the structure. It was very much, we weren't based just in Athens. We were all over Greece. So I was able to visit the islands. I was able to stay in Athens. We were in the northern part of Greece. We were in the southern part. We were in Crete. So I was really happy with the format of my study abroad program. And so I was there. And then I have been to, while I was abroad, I went to Istanbul, which I think to this day is probably the biggest culture shock I've ever experienced, but in the best way. It was amazing because it's so different from anything I've ever experienced. Everything from like the call to the prayer and hearing that, you know, different points in the day, you know, to the dress, the food, everything. I've also, after graduating college, I decided to go to Spain and teach English for a year. While I was in Spain, I was so set on traveling because I was there for a year, so I was like, I need to make the most out of this year. So I was able to go to Paris, France, Rome, Copenhagen, Prague. It's really beautiful.
Go to Prague.
Go to Prague.
And if you guys are curious about hearing more about these stories, because we're trying to keep it kind of short, but if you guys want to hear more and have a whole video on our traveling experiences, let us know. Because we talk about it all the time, so we just have to record it.
Yeah, everything from like our experience to like what we recommend in the past or things like that, just practical information even. I wish I would have had that. Yeah. I would have researched that more, but yeah, just let us know. And I went to Spain in 2015. And then next question, what accent in the world is your favorite to speak?
You were so ready for this one. God, I love the Spanish accent. I gotta say Spanish. Argentinian accent. Sorry, I couldn't say names for like people we know. Argentinian accent too. I'm like fascinated, and it's like a recent development. I'm just like
every time we hear it.
Yeah, and like I really want to go to Argentina and Brazil and Latin America. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just fascinated by accents. But I say those.
Well, I don't want to be a copycat, but definitely the Spanish. That Spanish accent, I just love it so much. Before I went to Spain, I think I was just like, infatuated by it. After living there, since you hear it every day and hear so many variations of the accent, people like it, but I definitely think I liked it more before I went to Spain just because you hear it every day. But I still love it. And also the Argentinian. I don't know what it is about it.
There's something about
it. Like, I don't know. I think it's a little like el tonito that they talk about it. That they talk with. Actually, something pretty funny. When I was in Spain, whenever I would talk to like my host parents, family members, the reaction they would get when they would speak Spanish is, "Oh my gosh, escuchas tan mexicana," and I'm like, I take that as a compliment because I'm like, wow, no one ever says that to me. They just say, "Oh, look, this is Spanish," and no one ever says, "Tienes un acento bien mexicano," and I'm just like, really? I'm gonna flaunt it now. But yeah, so those two accents. Also, I like the British accent. I've always liked the British accent. Or Italian accent.
I only did that because my boss, I interned in Italy, and my boss, like, I'm pretty sure it's like a swear, cuss word in Spanish. He was like, whenever you get mad, just say, porca mierda. And then I tried doing it without the hand because I didn't want to be like insensitive or anything. And he's like, no. Hand. And I was like, okay. And he's like, porca mierda. Yes. But yeah.
Oh my god. Why do you travel? This is
a real question.
Deep.
That's a loaded question.
But if you can sum it to one sentence. Simmer down to one sentence. Okay. As corny as it sounds, but whenever I think of travel, I honestly think of
Wow.
Because for me there isn't any other feeling of being alive and exploring than when you're outside of your everyday. When you're challenged to really think on your feet, to quickly do things, I feel like that's when I'm truly.
I would say obviously that was perfect, but also just travel to learn. I think a lot of people, their ignorance just comes from not knowing, and I mean there's always this fear of the unknown, but travel to learn more about the world, travel to learn more about yourself, travel to learn more about everything, food, culture, customs, all this stuff. Like, the world is fascinating, and like you won't get it all from a textbook, you won't get it all from YouTube. As amazing as it sounds and as amazing as YouTube may like make it seem, there's nothing like it. Like, honestly, like, school in Rome was so much fun because one thing is reading about, the Pantheon. Another thing is the next day walking to it and going inside of it, touring it, and having it right in front of you, like the embodiment of history. Something that we don't get much in the U.S. We're a really young country. So yeah, just travel to learn. I think it's important.
Definitely. I think we have time for one more. So, would you consider yourself a repeat visitor, or do you explore?
I would say I'm kind of a little bit of both. I know that's not the fun answer, but I repeat for familiarity and for comfort, and obviously because I liked it. You know, like I like. I think that even if you go back to the same place, you can have a different experience. So I definitely, it feels new actually every time. So I guess I'm not a repeat, if that makes sense. Like even if I'm going to the same place, it's always a new.
You try to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if I can have a chance, like right now, to go somewhere, I think I'd want to go for a different place. Just because, you know, nowadays, like, it's hard to, like, you know, just pick up and leave. Because it's not like you're in Europe and it's so expensive to go for a weekend anywhere. But, like, being from, like, the States where, you know, you have to, like, take days off and, like, it's a whole ordeal. I think that I would want to travel to a different place. But I definitely have to agree with what you said. Even if you go to, like, the same place, it's always going to be a different experience, whether it is because you're approaching it in a different way, you are going with someone different. Because how many times have you traveled with someone to the same place that you've been to, but maybe they haven't? And so when you go with someone that hasn't been there, you're traveling at the same time, because their eyes.
Right. Yeah.
You're explaining them certain things that you already know, and even though you know that, you know, you're still noticing things that maybe they're picking up on that you haven't already. So it's kind of like a little bit of both. Long story short. But yeah, I guess that is all for today. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share this video. Again, if you guys want to hear more about our travel experience, let us know. We're more than happy to do so.
And quick shout out to Italy, quick shout out to Czech Republic, quick shout out to Spain, Argentina, shout out to everyone. Like, the world's